Furniture. We're live. Hello. I am testing. Okay, good. It's holding as is. Excellent. Okay. Sorry, I just need to do something quickly. Do you have any viewers right now anyway? And it looks like it's going to do something on me. So I have one more thing that I need to figure out. Sound location, flashlight, where's that thing? All right. So we'll need to keep it like this. If the screen goes dark, try and tap over here in the right corner. Okay. Other than that, domain. We are live. Sorry guys, hello for the technical difficulties. We are happy to have you. I'm just going to give my hands a quick wash. Welcome to the first John G. Health Masterclass live stream. So if you don't know, tonight we're going to do a honey garlic glazed chicken. So obviously the first step I'm going to do actually is turn the right. Okay. So before it goes dark, sorry guys, one more technical thing we have to solve. If you're watching, all right. Technology is not always our best friend. Okay. All right. I seem to be able to see. Yes. Okay. It's just a slight time delay. Now, since that could get distracting for the viewers, I'm going to turn that away. Now that we are back, I am going to wash my hands again. So come on over to the cutting board here. And look at the cutting board. I'm actually going to move the butter away. We're not using the butter today. All right. So as you can see, we have chicken thighs. We need the chicken thighs and all the ingredients out. So we have soy sauce, honey, garlic, olive oil, pepper. Could add salt, but for the purposes of not overloading, I already have some salt on the rice. So here's what we're going to do. Now, for some of you more experienced cooks, you may already be aware, I actually hadn't really thought about this, but really cutting into the chicken thighs to get them to flatten out, right? So not really trimming. I'm going to keep some of the fats on there. That's optional. If you want to cut back, cut your calories a little bit so you can lose weight, then you can trim off some of the white stuff that's going on here. My goal here is to make the chicken thinner so that it cooks a little bit faster. That's my target. We have 1, 2, 3. How hungry are you, John? You're hungry? All right. Excellent. So I like to have about 2 chicken size for myself. So I've got the nice big pan out over here. So I like chicken size. They're a leaner source of protein. So they're considered to be, by some, I will say some, not everyone, a healthier option. So I mean, I like the taste of chicken. They're a good source of omega-3s. I do eat beef. I don't eat a lot of ham or bacon. I actually like turkey bacon myself. I'm up into ham and stuff if I know where the pig came from and kind of how it was raised. That's when I kind of open myself up to, oh, okay, I know the farmer, and I'm still kind of learning what a healthy diet for animals is. I mean, I don't really open myself up too much to that for now. I trust the farmers. I like grass-fed cows, but I haven't really thought about pig before. So this is chicken. So we got chicken thighs. Now I like the thighs because they are they have more nutrients. They're a little less in protein. So if you're looking again for less of that dietary fat, if you're listening to your doctor's recommendations, you can be looking at me if you want with the camera. I am. Okay. Sorry, I can't see the camera. You can go for the chicken breast. If your goal is weight loss and you want less of those calories and more of that protein, then chicken breast is a great idea. I love the flavor in the chicken thighs. So yes, so come on over here. So here's what we're gonna do. Oh, this is brand new. Actually, I'm gonna use the new olive oil that I have. And that pan is nice and hot. You see I'm about a half a foot over the pan to see how warm it is. So I'm gonna pour enough olive oil that it'll cover the pan. And if you look, come right in close on that. So it's a little bit runny. It's got a little bit of a shimmer to it. So you want to lay the chicken away from you so you don't get so much splashing. And we'll see just how much chicken we can fit on this pan. I think a pan full will be enough to feed everybody. So if that's not quite all of them, then that's okay. I have one already pre-cut for the next time that I'm cooking. So I do want to give them a little bit of space here. So I have a couple extra chicken sides ready to go for next time. Just give my hands a quick wash here because I'm going to be handling some things like pepper and stuff like that. This pan could actually be a little bit hotter. I'm going to crack some pepper over this. One of the reasons I'm not salting right now is I am adding soy sauce. So, I've kind of had a lot of salt today. I had some beef jerky, so I'm not going to overload on salt. Maybe going to find some sources of potassium tonight. So oranges are great. Bananas, of course, raisins. I do like potatoes. We're already having rice. Going to have kind of this Asian themed concept going on here. All right. So I'm going to move this off the way. Now I'm going to give this space a quick sanitize. I'm going to come back over to me. Raw chicken handling going on. I've wiped things down. So if you notice, I actually will wipe down the tap and the soap. And actually at the hospital kitchen, when I worked there, they actually want us to take a paper towel and turn the tap off with our hands. So, I worked for years in kitchens and I don't think I ever saw that once at a kitchen. So, I think when you're at home, You don't have to go super like overboard with some of these practices, but you should still be healthy, clean up after the chicken. And yeah, I can hear that chicken going. Speaking of, nice. I love that sound, that sizzling. So I've got that chicken on medium. That's about 5. That's where I like to have it. So with the garlic, some of you may have seen this, some of you may not. I first saw this on a movie, actually. It was, I want to say, Bradley Cooper. He was playing a chef. And so I started to pay attention, and I started to notice that a lot of professional chefs, like Gordon Ramsay even and stuff like that, a lot of the big names, they would do this. So I'm putting the garlic. I'm going to want one more. I'm putting a crushed garlic almost like whole right into the pan. We're not having like minced garlic. We're not chopping this up really fine. We're frying something. By the way, while I'm talking about this garlic, the reason I like to use like a pizza pan like that with holes in it, it's you still allow some of the moisture to get out. Like chicken, I like to really hold in the heat while I'm cooking it. So I always cover my chicken. Now, I still like to make sure I give it a nice brown. It will be brown by the time we're done working with it. For sure, absolutely. I'm gonna grab an oven mitt because this thing is gonna get hot, but I'm gonna give that a cover. So at this point, the next step. So we have how many chicken cutlets I end up doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of them. So in keeping with that and in thinking about that, I'm going to math out maybe, so if I think, so 1, and there's a little bit of that, come right in close. Focus on the food, not the back of my head. So 2, so you'll notice I'm getting a little bit of extra splash on the side. 3, 4, 5, the extra splash. I'm also going to do 1, 2. I think I'm going to want almost 2 tablespoons each, just to make sure I got enough. And then this tablespoon's a little bit bigger. Now I try to get enough so I'm not putting like soy sauce into the honey and honey into the soy sauce. So that is fairly heaped. So I'm going to say that's about 2 tablespoons of honey for, the amount of chicken that we have. So now my next thing, actually, I'm going to come back over the chicken here and see how it's doing before we do anything with it. So that chicken is almost completely white on top, as you can see. Um, this tool. This is the clean tool. So I'm going to give it a flip. So as you can see the brown? It's a little bit brown. It will get more color by the end, but if you're looking at this technique with chicken thighs, just so you have a sense for the brownness of it. So I'm taking out one of the garlic. It's been in there with cooked chicken, and I'm going to throw that into our sauce, and you'll see what I'm going to do with that in a moment. The other reason why I cover it is so that it can hold moisture. I find that with I find that birds like turkey and chicken, they really dry out sometimes, especially if you overcook them, but you still want to have them well done. You want to have them finished. So I'm throwing the soy sauce thing in the microwave for about 30 seconds. So that's just to kind of melt the honey. Mostly that's the main reason why I'm doing that. So yeah, so we have honey, we have garlic, soy sauce. So, I suppose the next most important thing here would be to figure out something to go on the side with this. No, I haven't thought of this already. That's all right. Oh, we got some green peas. I got some cauliflower. I didn't even plan out the veggies for this yet. So, awesome. Okay. Not sure if that bowl is clean.
Isn't garlic a veggie though?
You got me there. But how much garlic are we eating? So here's with portions, you'll want to have. This is about how much vegetables you'll want to have on your plate. Ideally,
the size of a human brain.
3 times a day. Is it?
That's the size of a human brain. Yeah.
I hope my brain's a little bigger than that.
It's the size of both your fists.
You learn something new every day. Thank you for that little tidbit. Oh, something I forgot to mention earlier about the chicken. The chicken's going to take about as long as the rice will. So we can see both sides have a similar color profile. Now, this is where I'm going to start to just leave the lid off and work with what I got here. So I have some green onions. And I'm just going to use them kind of like a garnish. So, I have some of the soy sauce drippings because I put the spoon on here. That's okay. Actually, for flavor, I'm going to throw the end in with the chicken. I'll pull that out later. Just so that stops beeping at me up in the microwave. Actually, I'm going to pull that out. Looks like not all done. Did all the honey melt? Nope. Could use more than 30 seconds. Really, this is going on the chicken, and it's going to get cooked a little more on there. So I'm okay. You really don't even need to throw it in the microwave. I know some people. I was actually having a conversation about how many nutrients are destroyed by microwaving. And I was actually reading a study that when you compare it with steaming and boiling and frying and anything else, microwaving is not that significant of a difference, in all honesty. So it really depends on how hot you cook it, how long you cook it, how much you cook it. You're really destroying things more like potassium. This plate's okay. It's clean. It's just got the soy sauce and the honey. You're destroying things like B vitamins when you cook things for a really long time. And so I'm going to use up this cauliflower. You don't have to make every dish fancy when you do it at home, but I do like to use as much of a food as I can with things. So I see some of these leaves are turning a little brown. I don't really like that, so I'm gonna find the ones that I think look a little bit nicer. And I'm gonna save those bits. Get this bowl to put cauliflower in. That's kind of okay. Started getting a little bit fancier with my meals. Actually, I can almost trim that. You know, it doesn't take much just to make a plate look a little bit prettier. I think. I don't like how brown that piece is. So here's what I'm gonna do. Can you happen to see a comment section on this? Anybody commenting? All right. Well, if you are with us live, please drop your questions. You know, let me know if anybody is even watching it. Again, this is our first live stream, so a few people got the invitation. Not expecting a whole lot of people, but we're gonna have lots of fun and we're gonna enjoy some good food with or without you people. That's okay. All right. And we got a clean counter because I cleaned it after the chicken. Speaking of, come back over here. So, there we go. You know how I knew it was starting to brown a little bit? It was starting to stick a little bit. There we go. So I'm actually going to check the temperature here. So I found that with this thermometer, he doesn't always sense near the bottom. And so I have to check. He senses up better here. And I'll buy a newer thermometer. You don't have to zoom right in. So this chicken's actually right about done. It's just about 70 degrees. So the amount of time that he'll need to cook here. So here's what we're going to do. This garlic mixture, or this honey and soy sauce mixture. Actually, I'm not speaking of garlic. That's what I was thinking of. I was thinking of the garlic. Now, I actually like to enjoy this bit. Some people, it seems to add a different flavor. Like when you have the flavor of the garlic fried in, I think that's why a lot of the chefs do that. It seems to, it does something to the flavor of the meat to have it fried in this way, a way that I'm still learning how to describe. I'll put it that way. So, and then I put some garlic in here, so I got to figure out what's the garlic and what's the honey still, if any. I think that is garlic. So, there we go. So I turned it down because I don't want to burn the honey and the soy sauce. And this really needs my attention actually at this point. So we're really going to let the chicken swim in the sauce. And what's going to happen? So this is a glaze. So this is a difference. So we added it at the end, near the end. It's the chicken's done. I waited till the chicken was basically as good as done. And speaking of done, the rice is done. So I always put the rice on first because I find it takes just as long as chicken if you slice it nice and thin. If I didn't slice it a little bit thinner at the start, we'd be looking at 40 minutes of cook time here. So this glaze, I love this glaze method because it's a great way to add color, not just flavor. So we want to cook the stuff for a minute, I would say, each side, 40 seconds, a minute, something like that. We're really going to let this sauce simmer, get a little bit sticky, be a lot less runny. Obviously, we're smelling. It doesn't smell like anything's burning. Again, we've turned it right down. You can almost turn it down to a simmer. I had it still cooking for a little while there. And yeah, you just let the chicken cook. I could probably turn that off at this point. I think that's ready to turn off. So you can see how the sauce is already starting, like we've got a slight color change here going on. As that bubble starts to come out, it's really still just cooking itself. The heat is off and it's still bubbling. So the beauty of cooking, I always thought, oh, you have to cook it right to the temperature. If you cook it to about 1 or 2 degrees. Now we're in Canadian, so we did 75. If you're in the US and you're dealing with Fahrenheit, we'd be talking about 160, 165 is what we'd want here. So we'd be talking more so about like you could afford a 5-degree variance here. All right, so I'm just gonna prepare my plate. It's really just where I'm at here. I don't like how that one looks. Get a little bit of green. Put some leaves down. And again, these are mostly just for show. I'm gonna put the chicken on here.
Do you have any cheese to go on there?
I have some some goat cheese I could use. I might not though. Got really fatty from the chicken. The thighs, I mean, because the thighs have more dietary fat than the breasts. Which again, we're mostly talking about omegas, which are thought of as a healthier fat. I'm not going to talk about cholesterol because I'm not a doctor, and that's really not my job. My job is not to lower your cholesterol. My job is to help get you eating healthier. You people at home, you, my friend behind the camera, really just, and so most chefs will throw these bits of garlic out. I like to eat them myself. These ends of green onion, not so much. I haven't tried that to be honest. But I love garlic. I think garlic is great. I should have thought this up. I'm gonna add some green beans to this so it looks a little more looks a little bit nicer. There's more color to it, to be honest. Get a different spoon too for that. Can be using metal on this plate. I'm just gonna kind of pour this sauce actually over the rice, over the vegetables. Yeah, get some green beans out. Why not? I'm a big fan of green beans. I've got them kicking around somewhere. If I use the cheese I have, I'm going to be putting more white on white. That's why I didn't want to use it. Oh, that's what I had, something just to add some color. Green onion. There we go. There. That's a beautiful plate. So let's get it away from the sink. So there we go. So you got the honey garlic glazed chicken, a little bit of the glaze drizzled off over some raw cauliflower. I suppose I could have left the pan hot and tossed either the rice or the cauliflower in with the sauce. This just has a different presentation. It's got a better look to it. it's not all one solid color. So if you're at home and you want to make things prettier for yourself, hey, that was easy, that was quick. And I'm just like you, right? I'm not a fancy chef who runs a 5-star restaurant. I've worked at restaurants, I've worked in kitchens. What I am is a nutrition coach. I like to help people eat healthier, eat better, and have just a better lifestyle. And so, I'm going to start doing these live streams a lot more. You can follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on Instagram. And yeah, so anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed the recipe. Let me know in the comments. I'm actually going to put the link to some of my other sauce recipes to where you can download them. You can also get the recipe newsletter. So every week we're going to have a recipe just like this. Now they're not all going to be live streamed, but we are going to share recipes. So hope you guys enjoyed it and have a good night. Great rest of your night.